Tragic outcomes for families when stress becomes too much to bear. But there is help for parents.
I think sometimes they're missing some tools.
I'll show you what a crisis nursery looks like if you or someone you know just needs a little break from taking care of your kids.
It's not always possible to find a win-win. But even then, how we win absolutely matters.
Tonight, we break down the governor's State of the State address and the Democratic response.
More mild weather on the way, plus a few showers. I'll have all of the information you need to know.
New tonight, incredible video of a tense situation on I-15 that caused the evening commute to grind to a halt.
The Sundance Film Festival is a part of Utah. Do you remember your favorite film? Well, I can bet in the Sundance archives, they've got a piece of it.
Live from Utah's news leader, Fox 13 News at 9 starts right now.
It is tragic and gut-wrenching. A recent surge of Utah parents being booked on charges of either killing or almost killing their infants. Just this week, there have been cases in Riverdale, Provo, and West Jordan.
In the Provo case, arresting documents show the parents admitted to police they did not think the baby was safe with the mother. In the West Jordan case, the father told investigators he was frustrated with the baby.
Fox 13 News reporter Maithili Gubi shows us resources to help overwhelmed parents before it's too late.
This is a crisis nursery in Midvale run by the Family Support Center.
We've had parents with several young children who say, I just need a nap or I need to sleep for a minute. We've watched their children for that. We've had parents who need to go to the grocery store, or if they had to go to a doctor's appointment they didn't want to take their children to.
These are places for parents and caregivers to drop their kids off for free when they have no one else to watch them.
I think it's extremely important, and it just offers them a safe place for their children to go and just a safe place for the parents to get some help.
Crisis nurseries are in homes across the Salt Lake Valley. They are safe spaces for kids to play, eat, and sleep. And they can give parents more educational resources too.
Parents that I have spoken with say, I should just know how to do this. I should just know how to be a good parent. But why do we think that? There's a disconnect there.
Lorianne Thorpe with Prevent Child Abuse Utah explains that there needs to be more conversations about helping families that are struggling.
I think sometimes they're missing some tools. And we can give that, we can provide that, we can help and support families as a state, as a community, right?
Prevent Child Abuse Utah also offers home visitation. That way anyone in crisis can get help immediately in their home. Crisis nurseries are just one way that you can seek help.
Overwhelmed with stress and anxiety or depression, and they were able to bring their children here and have that time to relax or fix whatever problem they needed or get the help that they needed so that they are able to take care of their children when we return their children back to them.
And can help you out when you need it most.
When they come back, the parents are usually sometimes in tears, but for a different reason. It's more out of relief of, thank you, I just needed this.
So if you or someone you know is struggling and you just need a place to drop off your kid to take a quick break from everything that's going on, you can contact a crisis nursery by getting in touch with them through the Family Support Center website. There's also a 211 line if you need more resources. In Midvale, I am Maithili Gubi, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Governor Spencer Cox addresses the state with a uniquely Utah message.
Stay weird, Utah.
I'm Ben Winslow on the Hill. The governor delivered his annual State of the State address, touching on the things that make Utah weird, but weird in a good way.
In Utah, we dine on fry sauce, funeral potatoes, and dirty diet sodas from our neighborhood swig. We play the lottery in Idaho and buy our fireworks in Wyoming.
Governor Spencer Cox leaned into Utah's peculiarities in his State of the State address, saying it makes us successful. But he warned Utahns against false choices and hyperpolarization.
You either care about the Great Salt Lake or you drive a John Deere tractor. If you want to lower taxes, then you must really hate public schools. If you have concerns with federal regulation, then you definitely want to start drilling for oil under Delicate Arch.
But the governor says Utahns aren't buying into that. He praised the state for water conservation.
As we have promised, we will save the Great Salt Lake.
Touted efforts to crack down on social media platforms he accuses of harming the mental health of Utah's youth.
The only way to not grow is to suck at being a state.
He urged lawmakers to back his initiatives to build more starter homes in the state to make housing more affordable. He's also asking for millions to expand services for people experiencing homelessness.
Zero-sum thinking says that we must choose between compassion and accountability. We decline that offer. There is nothing compassionate about allowing people to suffer and die on our streets. And there is nothing compassionate about allowing laws to be flagrantly ignored and broken. We can provide help and demand accountability.
In their formal response to the speech, House and Senate Democrats touched on similar topics, but from their viewpoint.
We are not the same state we were 5 years ago, and our population is continuing to diversify. We are committed to protecting the rights of our diverse communities.
We must work together towards solutions that tackle our housing crisis and open pathways for people to be able to afford a comfortable life in our state.
The governor's budget requests will be considered in the ongoing legislative session.
We're different. We're weird. The good kind of weird. The kind of weird the rest of the nation is desperate for right now.
Now, as part of his address, the governor gave lawmakers on the Hill this souvenir, t-shirts that say, "Stay Weird, Utah." You can watch the governor's full address as well as the Democratic response on our website, fox13now.com. On the Hill, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Democratic State Representative Brian King, who's running for governor against Spencer Cox, responded to his address tonight. He said, "My opponent and I agree that Utah is weird, but we disagree on why that is." While he playfully mentions the Bear Lake Monster, fry sauce, and our oddly shaped state, King says, "I find it weird that he delivered a speech championing compassion, love, and disagreeing better within a legislative chamber that is actively churning out extreme, divisive, and unnecessary legislation."
In other news today, I-15 northbound in Salt Lake County was snarled during the evening commute, all because this driver was flying down the highway on just their rims. The Utah Highway Patrol tried to stop the truck after it was involved in a hit and run on I-215 South at approximately 900 East. The suspect took off. A trooper performed a pit maneuver to stop that truck just prior to the 4500 South off-ramp on I-15. That caused the highway to be shut down for quite some time. Murray police ended up arresting the driver for DUI.
In Millard County, a man is in custody after deputies say he rammed his wife's car. Happened yesterday afternoon just west of Delton near Highway 50 and SR 257. The sheriff's office says 36-year-old Trevor Miller used his car to ram his wife's car, causing both to run off the road. He was arrested on suspicion of aggravated assault, reckless driving, and driving under the influence.
Unified Police now looking for 2 people involved in a shooting last night. It happened near 4300 West, 4800 South in Kearns. Police say a man was shot during a robbery. He was taken to the hospital in fair condition. Investigators believe both suspects are young adult males or possibly high school age. One is about 5'9" and thin. The other is 6 feet tall with a stocky build. Police now asking anyone in the area of 4300 West and 4800 South to check their security cameras for video between 9 and 10 p.m. last night.
Chad Daybell's attorney wants off the case, but the judge won't let him. John Pryor filed a motion last week to remove himself, saying Daybell can't pay him, and Pryor, is unqualified to argue a death penalty case. In today's hearing, Pryor also argued he hasn't been able to effectively prepare for the case because he works alone and can't find anyone to help him. State prosecutors have argued Pryor was just stalling. The judge denied Pryor's request, echoing the state's concern about a delay. The trial is set to begin April 1st.
About 25 people, including teachers and students from Canyon View Middle School in Cedar City, had to be treated for carbon monoxide exposure today.
The Iron County School District says a strong odor thought to be from ongoing construction was noticed At about 1 this afternoon, the school was evacuated. Paramedics tested CO levels and advised 25 people to get medical attention. The cause of the CO exposure is not known.
Do you ever feel like everyone skis or boards in Utah except you? Well, that's actually not true.
In fact, less than 13.5% of Utahns ski and snowboard. Let's go in depth with the numbers, shall we? A winter sports industry group conducts regular surveys. Their findings from 2019 and 2020 show Utah is not one of the top 5 states per capita for skiers. While we don't know Utah's percentage in the study, we do know it has to be less than 8.8% of residents who ski, Kel.
Now, Utah does make the list for snowboarding, third in per capita participation. 4.7% of us snowboard. What about sitting in the lodge, just looking out the window? How many? I bet you that's a large percentage.
Well, a cup of hot cocoa.
Yeah.
It's a good
in
spot.
your hand.
I've done that before, but it's been while I've been skiing.
Okay.
And taking a little break.
Do you ski with the cocoa in your hand or not?
No, I don't ski with the cocoa in my hand. I go in and take a rest.
And before you go back out. Well, I just like to watch all the other skiers.
So
That's kind of more my
She's
speed.
a people watcher.
Hey, you know what? I'm watching for some rain and snow because look at this. Diane Rollins took this picture of a halo around the sun, and you can see 2 sundogs. Now, the old timers say, and we've done the study, it will rain or snow within 5 days, 90% of the time you see one of these. So in Sandy, 90% chance you're going to get measurable precipitation here in the next 5 days. All right? So, folks, we're looking for some snow and some rain and some precipitation. All right, well, Mother Nature is definitely going to bring some precipitation. It's definitely going to be of the rain variety and the snow variety in the valleys. Rain in the valleys, snow in the mountains. Beautiful sunset here. Spectacular bluff sunset, I call it. Yeah, just beautiful. Storms coming in. We have atmospheric rivers. They come into the west, but they look like they're splitting more now. We're not going to see that organized weather pattern of very heavy precipitation. So because of that, the Department of Environmental Quality has issued a yellow with a mandatory. So keep that in mind. Overnight low 28. There will be black ice in spots. So folks, please be careful when you're driving, especially bridges and overpasses, side streets and secondary roads. Could be slipping and sliding. Hey, that next storm coming in, I said it was splitting, but it's still going to produce something. I'll let you know about it in a few minutes.
Nothing says baseball more than Utah.
This state is ready to go.
The push to bring a Major League Baseball team to Utah makes a pit stop at the state capitol.
But there's a chance that a current team comes to Salt Lake City. We'll explain why the Oakland A's might call Utah's capital city home.
After the Sundance Film Festival, did you know they save everything and compile it for history? Well, we got an exclusive look inside that you have to see.
The Jazz are playing one of the best teams in the Western Conference, Oklahoma City Thunder. Can the Jazz win their 7th game in a row? We'll have the highlights coming up.
Well, today, the Utah Senate Economic Development and Workforce Services Committee heard a resolution stating Utah would support a Major League Baseball team.
It also says the preferred location is in Salt Lake City's Fair Park neighborhood. A resolution is just a statement by the legislature. It isn't legally binding, but it can be a big show of political support. Larry H. Miller Company owner Gail Miller and former major leaguer and Utahn Dale Murphy both spoke before the committee today.
We couldn't be more excited about the prospects of Major League Baseball in Salt Lake because Utah is a high amenity state and would welcome cheering for its own team and seeing other favorite teams come to Utah.
What I'd like you to think about is the legacy that an opportunity like this can give those of us who live here in this state for generations to come.
The resolution unanimously passed out of committee and is headed now to the full Senate. New tonight, there is a chance the Oakland A's may come to Salt Lake City next. The Las Vegas Review-Journal is reporting Oakland's leadership is wanting to tour Smith's Ballpark later this week. They visited Sutter Health Park in Sacramento today. The A's have officially announced they're moving to Las Vegas, but the ballpark they're moving to in Vegas will not be ready until 2028. Their lease in Oakland expires after the 2024 season. The Review-Journal reports all options are still on the table.
Ooh, I'd take that race. I've been to Sutter Park in Sacramento.
Oh,
and,
yeah?
Our ballpark is a lot nicer, so we'll keep you updated on this. That would be exciting.
Sure will. Yep.
Yeah, a little primer before perhaps we get our own team.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Well, all our parks are covered in snow. Now, take a look at these Utahns out enjoying it. Down they go, down the hill. You know, not too much snow left after today's nice warm temperatures.
Do you remember how fun this was when you were a kid?
Does bring back
Sliding down
memories.
these hills
Oh,
and taking a
tumbled,
spell
yeah.
like that.
Scott Taylor captured these sledders at Sugar House Park, including some pretty epic wipeouts. We just saw one. I see a little bit of grass peeking through there at the end
maybe
between
so.
you know, the 50-degree temperatures and endless people running down those
That's
tracks,
right.
just wiping all the snow away, Dan.
Up and down, up and down. You get tired climbing. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So it's
Well,
good exercise.
Parents are counting on that.
That's right. They send them outside so they get all the whatever out of them so they can come back inside and rest.
That's right, and go right to sleep.
And go right to sleep. Go to beddy bye. Yep, at 50 degrees today. That's right. Oh my goodness, that is so warm compared to where we were just a little while ago. Beautiful, amazing Timpanogos view here. Oh, so beautiful. This is what it looked like this evening. Mary Waterman sent this in to us. Utah's Weather Authority on the Facebook page. Send us your photos. We love to show them on TV. Temperatures are cooling down after that nice warm 50. We're down to 35 in Salt Lake City, 25 in Roosevelt, 23 in Evanston. Here's the issue. Had a lot of snow in the Bear Lake Valley. We had a lot of snow in Cache Valley, even some heavy amounts along the northern Wasatch Front, Ogden, for example. Where it has melted today because of the warm weather, it's going to freeze, black ice. That's going to be a problem, so keep that in mind. 31 right now in Green River, 26 in Bryce Canyon, 29 in Ely. And here is a storm system. Looks like it's a big one, doesn't it? By the atmospheric river. It comes into the west coast and really does produce a lot of rain in California. Nice little comma shape here. That's always the sign of a big, heavy rain-producing, snow-producing storm. Well, as it moves in, it hits this splitting jet stream, and here we are on Saturday at 6 p.m. Splitting. So chance for showers late in the day Saturday. Here comes the second part of the storm. Again, it moves in, and it's splitting, moving mainly into southern Utah. So St. George, Cedar City, and the mountains should do fairly well with this storm. And we just get nicked here in the north, but it'll still be kind of showery on Sunday. We get a break Monday. We're in between storms. Here again, very big storm system, but it's splitting as it comes in, and a lot of it goes south. On Tuesday, we have some showers in the north. It starts to get cold enough for a little rain-snow mix. Some showers around St. George. Again, kind of an unsettled day. Moving into Tuesday afternoon, there's that line of showers, but it's split, jet stream, and whenever that happens, these big storms that come in, they fall apart when they move across Utah, and that's again what happens later in the week. We'll have a slight chance for showers Wednesday, but probably not a high chance. So here's what our forecast is for tomorrow. 43 in Salt Lake, not as warm as the 50 because we'll have a lot of cloud cover. And then again, we will get colder tonight than we were last night. So we start a little colder, we get a little bit of cooler temperature in the afternoon, and that's kind of the way it is. Average high is 39, so 43 is just a touch above average. Overnight tonight, as I mentioned, dropping it down to 28. Some high clouds. Tomorrow will be right around 43 or so. And it looks to me like St. George will be we're in the crosshairs. This late Saturday into Sunday, pretty good chance for some rain. Snow above about 5,500 to 6,000 feet. Showers Monday, Tuesday some rain, and then drier Wednesday, Thursday. 43 tomorrow, 46 Saturday, showers late, rain showers late Saturday, Sunday, snow above 6,000 feet. And then it turns a little bit cooler with a break on Monday into Tuesday. Wednesday, slight chance for showers, and yes, Wednesday, Thursday does get a little bit colder, but still above average.
Remember the name JoJo Jordan. He's a Utah athlete making big waves in the cross-country scene. We take you behind the scenes of a celebration thrown by a Utah city in his honor.
Utah and the Sundance Film Festival go hand in hand, which is why they've made sure to save everything, even from the beginnings. We'll have an exclusive look inside the Sundance archives ahead.
The celebration begins. He is the Nike Cross Nationals champion.
That was the moment Utah native JoJo Jordan, a senior at Olympus High School, became a nationally recognized champion.
That is just a good name.
Isn't
too.
that great?
Sounds like a
JoJo
name
Jordan.
that you do not forget. Today, JoJo was celebrated for that win by the entire city of Holiday.
Fox 13 Sports Director Jeff Rainier joins us a little early tonight. Jeff, this is great.
Yeah, Bob and Kelly, all the bigwigs were in attendance at today's party for JoJo, even the Holiday mayor, Rob Dahl. Jordan's main event, the 5K, and it wasn't the first time in the national spotlight in 2020. Jordan finished third at the Running Lane Cross Country Championships with a time of 15:12. Flash forward to the Nike Nationals, Nike Cross Championships of 2023, and he crossed the finish line with a time of 15:16, 2 seconds ahead of his competitors. Here's what he had to say, getting recognized today.
They don't do this for many athletes, and I think it's really special that I was able to be recognized tonight, and I'm really excited for it. I wouldn't be here without my teammates and them pushing me every day. We have a great group of guys at Olympus, and I think it's something that's really brought me up, and brought the team up, seeing what I've done, and everyone's just pushing themselves, and I think it's great.
Yeah, pretty awesome. He's already set up for graduation. He's committed to Wake Forest University in North Carolina. Coming up in sports, we've got a lot of basketball to talk about. The Utah Jazz taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, plus plenty of college hoops with Utah, Weber State, Utah Tech, Utah Valley, all playing tonight. We'll have the highlights coming up in about 30 minutes.
Sundance, Utah's iconic film festival, 40 years in the making.
I think what's fascinating is that there are always more stories to tell.
Fox 13 Spencer Joseph gets an exclusive look inside the Sundance Institute's private archives.
The archive holds tons of materials from when the Institute was first founded.
Get a glimpse of the film negatives, scripts, and posters that made movie-making history.
It's endless what I think we can discover in these boxes.
Coming up next, only on Fox 13 News.
For quite some time now, every year, the world of independent filmmaking turns its eyes to the Beehive State for the Sundance Film Festival.
Now celebrating 40 years. Did you ever wonder what happens to all those films after the festival wraps up? Fox 13 News reporter Spencer Joseph got exclusive access to the archives.
It's a showcase of artistry 40 years in the making. Sundance Film Festival and the Sundance Institute have been making audiences laugh, cry, cheer, and smile for over 4 decades. But in a place few get access to, all those memories live on in these boxes.
We are in the Sundance Institute archives.
So the archive holds basically tons of materials from when the Institute was first founded, and even when it was kind of germinating in the mind of Robert Redford.
The very beginning, from the early 80s up until 2023.
And among these boxes, you'll find Tanya DeAngelis.
It's a dream opportunity and role.
And Lee Klaus.
From a little kid, I've always been a film buff, and working here has always been, it was a dream, basically.
Their jobs as archivists are to maintain this space. Sometimes that means research on a specific movie. Other times, it's just for discovery's sake.
Every day in the archive is kind of an act of discovery.
But then you kind of go down like a little rabbit hole of ooh, what's this? Oh, well, I didn't know this happened.
But the big question is, what kind of stuff is in here?
It's oftentimes really hard to know where to start because it's just, again, so many years of history. 86, and then this is 85. We have awards from the festivals over the years.
Wow, it is very heavy.
Yeah. Light post banners. This is our oldest one, rather.
They used it multiple years,
Okay.
from maybe the late 90s into the early 2000s.
Posters from the festivals.
The more recent years, we try to save 10 of each poster, but for the older years, we have what someone saved. That's the Institute poster from '85, and then this is the '85 festival.
Yeah, you start to have your favorites from over the years. This is 2011, and each of the symbols contains like elements of Sundance Festival history. There are boxes upon boxes of different video formats that we have.
1-inch, 1-inch magnetic. Oh, this is from when the festival went to Tokyo.
When you open each box, it's kind of a different thing.
A compilation of festival trailers, press kits, film stills.
It's kind of fun to see what the photographers choose to cover as well over the years.
Finding old files and correspondence.
Do you have a favorite thing that you've been able to uncover in here somewhere?
Todd Haynes showed his film Superstar, short film, and we have the submission paperwork and a handwritten note from him. So that is the actual application where category entered, dramatic, exhibition format, 16 millimeter. It's endless what I think we can discover in these boxes.
It's all a film nerd's dream. And speaking of,
I have gone to every festival since 1996.
that's John Nye. He's a senior programmer and curates the festival's archive. And as Sundance turns 40, there's a lot to look back on.
And it was a daunting proposition because when you look at the roster of films and filmmakers who have come out of Sundance over those 4 decades, you can't even start to think that one program could encapsulate all of those.
But they decided on a few gems to feature again this year.
So this year we're looking at anniversaries from Go Fish, 30th anniversary, 3 Seasons, 25th anniversary, Napoleon Dynamite and Dig are both 20th anniversaries.
But beyond the festival, this place serves as an inspiration to all those filmmakers that are yet to be.
It's been about community. It's the notion that we have brought together a community that collectively accomplished something important.
I mean, it was created to support artists and storytelling and ensure that there was a place for artists to experiment.
Without Sundance, who knows whether like Napoleon Dynamite might have made it so much into like to the mainstream.
Ushering Sundance into the next 40 years. But I think by then, they might need a bigger room to hold the next generation of stories.
I think what's fascinating is that there are always more stories to tell.
And festivals have never been more important in that process.
And Thursday is just day 1 of the film festival. We'll have coverage throughout it on our social media channels, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Myself, Rich Bonaducci, and our digital reporter, Shanti Lerner, will cover everything Sundance. You won't want to miss it. But for now, in Salt Lake City, Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.
It's a lot of history there
Oh,
in that
yeah.
room. Pretty cool to see. Coming up, we have an update to a Fox 13 News investigation having to do with guns at the Salt Lake International Airport and Salt Lake City Police. We'll explain how the Utah State Legislature is now getting involved.
Plus, the Bountiful Food Pantry and the Davis School District are making sure children aren't left without a meal. How they're hoping you can help.
And when you're removing snow, do you do it at a time that's convenient for you or respectful for your neighbors? The community debate still to come.
It's a big night for college basketball. Can Utah finally beat Oklahoma State in the Craig Smith era? We'll tell you coming up.
I've spoken with Salt Lake PD. I've made my wishes clear that he should be reinstated. That's a personnel decision, and I don't have direct authority over that.
For months, state lawmakers have been butting heads with Salt Lake police, accusing them of intentionally circumventing gun laws at the airport, all while an officer's career hangs in the balance.
The dispute is so heated, lawmakers could pass a bill forcing the department to get out of the airport altogether. Fox 13 News investigative reporter Adam Herbets found out how close that is to reality.
Sometimes it's an accident, sometimes it's on purpose, but if you're the one who gets caught with a gun in your bag at the airport,
Do you have anything sharp or dangerous in the bag today?
it's the police's job to figure out what happened.
We don't need to turn everyday citizens who are just going about their lives into criminals.
Lawmakers like Representative Stephanie Grecius passed a law trying to make sure honest gun mistakes went unpunished. Instead, she says Salt Lake City Police came up with a scheme to label accidents as recklessness, so they could charge gun owners anyway.
If an officer believes that there's no evidence that a crime existed, they have to let them go.
The police union says when one officer questioned his boss trying to enforce the law, he was placed on leave. Months later, he could still lose his job.
Well, I believe he was enforcing it the way that we wrote it and the way that we intended. So not trying to, but he actually did.
We do take the safety and security of the traveling public very seriously.
In August, the department defended its interpretation of the law, but refused to talk about the officer they placed on leave. Some lawmakers say it made the problem worse.
Very much felt like they were digging in their heels.
At that point, they were ready to say goodbye to Salt Lake City PD, kicking them out of the airport so Utah Highway Patrol could take over.
I'm not advocating for it one way or the other. The answer is simply yes. If we were asked to do it, could we do it? You bet.
If the legislature wanted, they could have already pulled the plug on Salt Lake City Police on the first day of the session. Theoretically, it could still happen, but lawmakers say they've reached a compromise outlined in a new bill.
There's not a whole lot of discretionary ability built in. Your first offense, the way it's written, will be a warning, so there's not a fine associated with that. Law enforcement will have your firearm back available to you within 3 business days, so you don't lose your firearm, but you can still go ahead and make your flight.
If it passes, police will be required to report its enforcement data to the state. If lawmakers are still not happy, they could revisit the plan to remove Salt Lake City PD from the airport next year. Reporting in Salt Lake City, Adam Herbets, Fox 13 News, Utah.
There's a beautiful sunset from the Deer Creek Reservoir area, Timpanogos Peak in the background. High clouds sometimes mean a storm is coming. I'll let you know what to expect in just a couple of minutes.
We have a busy night of college basketball. The Utes, Wildcats, Wolverines, and a battle between the Trailblazers and Thunder. And the Jazz went after their 7th win in a row, but they faced the second best team in the West. The highlights are on the way.
The Wasatch County Sheriff's Office has identified the woman killed in a snowmobiling crash near Daniels Summit yesterday afternoon. They say 51-year-old Sarah Scott lost control of the snowmobile while she was operating and hit a tree. Authorities believe it was a tragic accident.
The general manager of the Nordic Valley Ski Resort says they're back open now, but only for season pass holders. The resort in Eden closed earlier this week after a massive fire. They will be open tomorrow for season pass holders and for people who had lift tickets the day the fire happened. They are hoping to have operations completely up and running by this weekend. The Bountiful Food Pantry says there are 16,000 students in the Davis School District who qualify for free and reduced lunch. To help feed the kids within the district, they pack pantry packs. This program was created back in 2012. Each pack comes with 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, a wide variety of snacks, and a drink. The purpose is for it to serve as a weekend meal kit for children so they don't go hungry. Rebecca Anderson, the executive director of the Bountiful Food Pantry, says the need for these pantry packs is increasing as the price of necessities like groceries has gone up.
2 years ago, we distributed 95,000. Last year, it was 114,000, and this year we're predicting it to be quite a bit more. I think average, we've increased about 30% every year.
She says right now they estimate they are only going to have enough pantry packs to feed children in the school district through the end of February. With 95% of the pantry packs being provided by donors, the pantry and others are hoping the community can help. If you'd like to donate, we do have a link on our website. You can find it at fox13now.com.
Eagle Mountain neighbors are split over snow removal etiquette. It started with one man's post in a Facebook group asking whether 4 a.m. is an acceptable time to use a snowblower. Technically, Eagle Mountain has a noise ordinance from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, but some homeowners say they have to start in the early morning.
There's a lot of people at work. My husband gets out of the house at 5:30 a.m. and after that I get off. So when do I have time to shovel?
4 a.m. I guess. City spokesperson says a snowblower's decibel levels are too high for quiet hours. However, Tyler Moffat says the city is reasonable and acknowledges snow removal is important to homeowners. It's also a safety hazard if sidewalks are left unshoveled.
I get it. I understand.
And a rock on a hard place.
It's bringing me back to my teenage years.
What?
It wasn't winter, but it was the lawnmowers. On those summer mornings out there.
Trying to sleep
4 in the morning.
Oh my gosh, I used to get so
boy.
mad. I've never had the experience of a snowblower waking me up, but the lawnmower.
Yes,
yeah,
I think
happens.
we've
I
all
get you.
had that happen,
Yes,
right?
we
had
have.
a neighbor who decided, well, it's time for everybody to get up.
Yep.
You know, today Mother Nature melted away a lot of the snow.
So nice to us today. She's been mean. I mean, in a way, for driving and clearing the walks and all that.
Yeah.
But it's great for the snowpack.
Yeah, she's been kind in that way.
But there's like this, dichotomy between good and bad and what's coming up. And hey, I have a way to forecast the weather without using computer
Good.
models.
Well,
Good, because
wait.
that's what we're
Tell
paying
me.
you for.
Okay.
Let me guess, Dan. You lick your finger and you stick it in the air.
When you see a sun halo like this,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
two sun dogs off to the side,
Okay.
Yeah.
this is what the old timers did before computer models and weathermen, like Weatherman Dan.
Yeah.
They 5 days. Within 5 days, 90% of the time, it will rain or snow.
Years ago, I had a lady who would call me every time she
Yeah.
saw a sundog.
Okay, there you go.
Because I saw another sundog.
It's a sundog.
And had
Get
me
ready.
report
There you
that
go.
on the news.
The
Diane.
5-day countdown is on
Yeah.
now.
Okay, and
Start
this
your
was-
engines.
This was taken in Sandy, okay? Diane Rollins. It'll rain or snow in Sandy within the next 5 days. 90% chance. Oh my goodness, what a sunset. Whoa. Jeff Angsley. Oh, and this is in Bluff. Ah, bring it on. Split jet stream. I say that, and you know what's going to happen. Got a lot of precipitation out there, plenty of atmospheric river action. But when these storms come in, they're falling apart now. So it seems like we're through the rough patches of getting that heavy, wet snow and the cold and just the freezing weather. And now the trouble may be ice on the roadways, the highways and the byways, getting a little bit of that black ice action tonight, tomorrow morning. So please be careful. Watch out on the bridges, overpasses, side streets. 29 in Vernal right now, 30 in Provo, 29 in Ely. So here's the setup. Big storms along the coast. They come in, they reach the west coast. They look really very, very big. A comma shape like this, that always means there's going to be 3, 4, 5 inches of rain along the California coast, especially up there by Eureka and Arcata and Crescent City. But when this comes inland, watch. I mean, look at that split. Just kind of pulls this thing apart. Okay, so this is later in the afternoon, evening on Saturday. On Sunday, it's a little bit better, but it's still a split storm, some in the north, but southern Utah gets the lion's share of this one. Let's move into Monday. Okay, we're kind of in between. That looks big, doesn't it? It's a split though. Watch this thing. Goes straight down into Arizona. Grazes southwest Utah with some of the heavier precipitation, and it's cold enough for some rain and snow action along the Wasatch Front. And that will continue through the day Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, southern Utah, you're in the clear, but a slight chance of these showers moving by. It's a little bit colder based on this for Wednesday and Thursday. It may see more of a snow shower pattern. So here we go with the forecast. A lot of clouds. We'll call it a cloud storm tomorrow. Peekaboo sunshine, 43 in Salt Lake City. Overnight low is going to be 28 though, with those high clouds out there. And tomorrow we'll be right at 43. Mostly cloudy all day long. Pretty good chance late Saturday into Sunday for some rain. Snow levels about 6,000, 6,500 feet. Showers Monday, good chance of precipitation Tuesday, and then drying out across the south. 43 Friday, 46 Saturday, showers late, a few showers Sunday, turning colder, drier on Monday, and then a slight chance for rain or snow Tuesday into Wednesday as temperatures drop to a little bit closer to normal, which is 39 for this time of the year. Now, Utah's Weather Authority has you up to date. You're ready to go. Hope you have a good one.
The Utah Jazz back on the court tonight, going after their 7th win in a row, but they faced a very good Oklahoma City team. The Thunder are the second best team in the Western Conference. OKC jumped out to a big lead in the first quarter. Chet Holmgren knocks down the three. That put the Thunder up 17 in the first quarter. So the Jazz had to dig out of a big hole. Jordan Clarkson, quarter three, is up and good. He had 18 points. The Jazz trailed by 9 at the half. They played better in the third quarter. Lauri Markkanen misses the dunk, but Simone Fontecchio there for the follow-up jam. Then Fontecchio gets into Markkanen. Finisher at the rim. He had 26 points, 10 rebounds. Jazz down 4 in the fourth. Here comes Colin Sexton with the hammer. Oh my, 2 of his team had 31 points. The Jazz still in it. But Cason Wallace answered right back with a 3. The Thunder held on to win at 134-129, ending the Jazz 6-game winning streak. Jazz fall to 22-21. Utah shorthanded against Oregon State. Both Raleigh Wooster and Lawson Lovering out of commission. Beavers got it going 19-15 on that triple, but then the Utes go on an 18-0 first half run. Cole Bajema got it started. Then the defense taking over. The Beavers going nearly 11 minutes without a field goal. Brandon Carlson, the block, leads to a Kebaketa dunk on the other end. Katie with a game-high 18 points, career highs of 15 boards and 3 blocks. Devon Smith added a steal and a bucket. Utah holding a Pac-12 opponent under 40 for the second time, and at 3 tries, winning by 27. Weber State at home against Eastern Washington. 3 by Dylan Jones put the Wildcats up 13 in the first half, but it was tight down the stretch. Alex Chu tied the score with that jam at Washington. Eastern Washington pulled out an 80-78 win over Weber State. There was an in-state matchup between Utah Tech and Southern Utah. Zion Young, long 3 for the Thunderbirds. Then later in the first half, Jalen Searless knocks down the 3. He led the Trailblazers with 13 points, but the Thunderbirds pulled away in the second half. Dominique Ford with back-to-back 3s. He had 23 points. Southern Utah won at 75-65. Utah Valley had a tough road matchup against Grand Canyon. Tanner Toulson drains a 3 for the Wolverines. That stopped a 14-0 Lopes run. Grand Canyon showed why they're the team to beat in the WAC with a 78-65 win over Utah Valley. 3 native Utahns playing at this week on the PGA Tour. This is Ogden's Patrick Fishburne with a birdie at 17. He's 3 under in his first event since securing his PGA Tour card. Zach Blair 5 under, Tony Finau 4 under. The leaders are 10 under par. We'll see how they do the rest of the week in the desert in California.
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I love all the basketball highlights.
Thursday nights are pretty busy.
Exciting games, some of them.
And the winners tonight, can you remember who they were?
Yes, I can. Utah, that was a huge win over Oregon. Yeah.
First time they've ever beaten Oregon State under Craig Smith.
Wow,
so they got it done.
Well, let's start a new legacy. Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
We'll be right back. Here's something fishy going on in Utah Valley.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Provo police say a bizarre phenomenon happening the past few months. 17-year-old male's been arrested and charged with, get this, more than a dozen alleged cases of fish being taped to ATMs.
He had to catch them first, right?
And even to a police patrol car.
Hold on, they were real fish?
Yeah, apparently.
Stinky car.
Police say it may be innocent fun until somebody pokes their eye out.
Ouch.
No, until it starts costing
we
money.
shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, don't laugh about it because it costs money to
serious.
clean up.
Yeah.
Well,
And it smells like fish.
a lot of things we could say about that. All right, Quick Cast is up next.